Okay, let's say you have to start a business from scratch, like right now. No money, nothing. What's the first move you make? Well, we're going to break down the playbook from someone who actually did it, Alex Hormozy. This is a guy who went from literally sleeping on a gym floor to, well, breaking world records. So yeah, let's get into it.
And look, this wasn't some lucky break. This whole massive transformation, it really boils down to one single strategic decision he made right at the start. And here's the crazy part. It's a decision most new entrepreneurs get completely, totally wrong.
So he basically asked himself that exact question. If I had to do it all over again, what would I do? And his answer, it's not some complicated tech startup idea or a crazy business model. Nope, it's way simpler. It's a fundamental rule about where you need to plant your flag in any market. And here it is, the number one rule, the big one. The middle is where businesses go to die. Seriously, think about it. The basic math of any business is super simple, right? It costs you X to get a customer, and you have to make more than X from that customer. But if you're stuck in the middle, you're not cheap enough to attract everyone, and you're not special enough for the big spenders. You just get squeezed from both sides. You get crushed. So you've got to choose your lane. You either go way up here, super premium, super expensive for just a handful of people, or you go way down here, super cheap for absolutely everyone. And here's what's so fascinating. For a brand new business, one of these paths is so much easier, and I'm willing to bet it's not the one you're thinking of. The answer? You start at the absolute top. I mean, the very peak of the market. You start with a super premium high-ticket offer. Now, I know, that sounds completely backwards, right? But check this out. One of the biggest companies in the world use this exact playbook to become a total giant. Just look at Tesla. Did they roll out with the affordable Model 3 for everybody? No way. They started with a Roadster, a car that cost $250,000. It was for a tiny, tiny group of people. But that one super expensive product, it gave them the cash, it gave them the street cred, it gave them everything they needed to eventually fund their way down to the mass market. You see the pattern? Start high, and then you earn the right to go low. And Hormozy did this exact thing himself. While he was grinding to build his main gym business, he took on just one single personal training client. But this wasn't just any client. This one person paid him $4,500 a month in cash. Think about that. That one premium client funded the growth for the entire rest of the business. That's the power we're talking about.
Okay, I can already hear you. A one-on-one service? Dude, I'm just selling my time. That's not scalable. And you know what? You're right. But let's bust these myths, because these exact thoughts are the mental traps that keep so many entrepreneurs from ever getting off the ground. So myth number one, the big one. But it's not scalable, right? We've all been drilled with this idea that if you can't scale to 1 million users on day one, it's a worthless idea. But here's the secret. It doesn't need to be scalable. Not at first. The whole point of your first premium offer isn't to build a global empire. The point is to get cash in the door, to learn 10 times faster from clients who are really invested, and to get incredible testimonials. An unscalable offer is actually the perfect tool for the job. All right, on to myth number 2. This one's a classic. Selling your time is what poor people do. We've all heard it, that trading time for money is this terrible trap you have to escape from. But the reality is, everyone has an hourly rate. Want to know yours? Take your last year's income, divide it by 2,000, boom, that's your number. Even the richest investors are trading their time when they're researching a deal. So the game isn't to stop selling your time. The game is to make your time so valuable, it's almost ridiculous. And that brings us to the last big objection, myth number 3. You look at doing all this work for just one person and think, ugh, is all that effort really worth my time? And this is where the whole mindset flips. You're asking the wrong question. Don't ask, what will the market pay? Ask yourself this. What price would I have to charge to make this so fun and exciting that it would absolutely be worth my time? Is it $1,000 an hour? 10,000? You name your price. You fix it. Then you just let the client decide. You simply give them the option to say yes. So once you get past those mental blocks, how does this all shake out on a spreadsheet? Let's look at the actual numbers, because this is where the strategy goes from a cool idea to an absolute no-brainer. Okay, check out this profit breakdown. It's kind of nuts. Let's say you get 100 customers. 90 of them buy your normal $100 thing. After costs, let's say you have a 40% margin. Cool, you make $3,600 in profit.
Not bad. But now look at the premium offer. What if just 10 of those customers, just 10%, buy your $1,000 premium service? Since that's mostly your time, it's pretty much pure profit. That's $10,000. You made almost 3 times more profit from a tiny fraction of your customers. That's the whole game right there. So, how do you even start designing an offer like this? Well, here are 3 killer thought experiments to get you going. First, the 100x price. What on earth would you have to include to justify charging 100 times what you charge now? Just let your imagination run wild. Second, the word of mouth guarantee. What kind of service would be so unbelievably good that people couldn't help but talk about it? And third, the scaled premium. How could you make the offer 10 times more valuable without it being your personal time? Just asking these questions, that's where the magic starts. Because value isn't just about cramming more features into something, right? It's about psychology. It's about engineering the experience. So let's deconstruct what real value is. There are 4 levers you can pull to make something feel incredibly premium to a customer. Okay, here are the 4 big levers of value. First, the dream outcome. How big and specific is the problem you're solving for them? Second, likelihood of achievement. How certain are they that you'll actually get them that result? And a one-on-one offer makes this skyrocket, obviously. Third, speed. How fast can you get them there? And finally, fourth, ease and effort. How much friction and hassle can you remove from their plate? A truly premium offer just crushes it on all 4 of these.
And let's just double-click on that third one for a second, speed. Or as Hormozi puts it, latency beats magnitude 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. What does that mean? It means for premium clients, saving time is way more important than saving money. You aren't selling a discount, you're selling a shortcut. Making things happen faster is one of the most valuable things you can possibly offer.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's actually incredibly simple. Just make a 10x more expensive version of what you currently sell and make it available. That's it. Don't debate it. Don't convince yourself no one will ever buy it. Just put the option out there. Because some people, a number greater than 0, will say yes. And so that leaves us with the final question, the one for you to really chew on. If you had to create a version of what you do that was 10 times more expensive because it was 10 times more valuable for that one perfect dream client, what would that actually look like?